coming tonight. It's so good to see some familiar faces, and those of you who want to hear me talk some more, I'm glad you're here. I was going over my speech notes just before, and look, I'm no Gandalf, but I'm going to give this a go. I want to just thank, before I begin, I want to thank Shadowplay Tea House for hosting tonight. You guys have done an excellent job in just preparing the venue. And I know that it's crunch time for you guys, so they're actually moving out of this venue soon, and they were really gracious in allowing me to use this space. So thank you, Shadowplay Tea House. And I also want to thank my publishers, Morgan James. They have been excellent in just publishing Take Flight. It's been quite an extreme endeavor, and they do it in stages. So if you followed me at all in this process, I released the novel originally, and they do that 2 authors in November. And then it released as an ebook in March. And now it's officially released to bookstores. As of June 15th, it hit bookstores in America, and that's why we're celebrating tonight. It's a huge Thank you. So that's been really exciting, and I'm thankful for Morgan James for what they've done with this book. It's been great to partner with them and great to continue with them as well. And then I also just wanted to thank Snap Fitness Course. Like, you guys have been awesome in promoting my videos endless times, so I appreciate it, and this is the last hoorah, so we're done. We're done with those videos.
Till the next book.
Yeah, exactly. And then last but not least, I do want to thank my husband, Matt. He has been fantastic in just championing me and pushing me forward and encouraging me, and being married to an author can't be easy, and he makes it look easy. And he also carts around my books and my signs and is at every event, so thank you, Matt, for doing that. Awesome. So I actually started writing Take Flight as a result of someone quite close to me coming to me and explaining a little bit about their issues with domestic abuse in the home. And this person was so close to me that I realized I had no idea that she was dealing with this issue of domestic abuse. And it required a little bit of research, but once I delved into it, I realized how widespread domestic abuse is, and unfortunately it's an issue, a real issue, globally, but also an issue that can be seen in the church, and that's really why I wrote Take Flight, was to just address that issue and bring awareness, and then hopefully address this issue of feeling trapped, and giving the people who are victims a real understanding of hope, and a future, and that's really what drove this novel. So a verse that I used a lot in the novel is Jeremiah 29:11, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." And that's really what drives a lot of Take Flight, and that was the hope there, to bring awareness and to address this issue of domestic abuse, and hopefully eliminate shame that can often be felt with the victim. So that was the plan there. And I'm going to read just a quick excerpt from chapter 15. Again, as I was doing research, I didn't want to give too much away of the novel for those of you who have not read it or bought it yet, but if you'll follow along with me here, we'll do a quick reading, and then I'll get to some book signings as well. The taillights of Ainsley's Highlander trail down the dirt drive of the lake house. As I stand outside the front door, my body begins to tremble. I'm completely alone out here, totally vulnerable. Why couldn't Ainsley just apologize for her actions from last night? Then maybe she'd feel better about it, and we could both go back to the safety of her secured house, with the tension from our trip far behind us. But no, here I am, shaking on the front stoop of the lake house, trying to determine whether it's safer inside or out. In a flash, I unlock the door and swing it open. If he's hiding inside, waiting for me, the sound of my entrance announcing my arrival is not what I need to be fearful of. After my thorough search of the lake house, I find the windows and doors intact. He hasn't broken in. I'm safe, at least for the moment. But I can't stay here, so I hastily repack my bag. Within minutes, I'm in my car, racing away from the lake house. I drive aimlessly around town. What's next? I don't have enough money to spend on a comfortable hotel room, and I need a hotel room. There's no way I'm going to risk the unsafe confines of a dingy inn. The minutes tick by, moving me closer to midnight as I try to work through what I should do next. Do I sleep in my car? Do I go to my parents' house? Whatever I choose, I don't have long before my driving becomes dangerous. Another yawn stretches through the tension of my clenched jaw. I shake my head against the vibrations moving up my spine. I've got to find out where Jonathan is. That's the only way I'll really trust that I'm safe. I nod and start driving toward my old house. As I navigate down the familiar road, heat rolls through every muscle. The mailbox that reads McLean comes into view, and I slow my car to a speed that starkly contrasts the racing of my heart. Turning off my headlights, I inch past the last cluster of trees hiding the house. My heart catches in my throat. There it is, everything representing my past standing before me. My eyes search for his vehicles in the dark, and I loosen my grip on the steering wheel when I find both the truck and the Audi. He's here, and hopefully, he's sleeping. I gulp as I catch a fleeting view of the dog pens in the backyard. My heart pangs. Those poor dogs are left out in the cold. Has Jonathan given them any attention since I left? Maybe I could sneak back there and cuddle them, even just for a minute. No. My head snaps back to view the house. I couldn't risk it. Finding me in his backyard would be like hand-delivering a gift, allowing him to play out his darkest fantasy without a witness in sight. I shiver, the movement slapping me from the memory of my life while living in that house, that prison, for 3 years. The lights are off. From what I can remember, that typically means he's home for the night. It's a Saturday night. There's no doubt he's abusing some kind of substance and probably passed out on the couch. At least he's in there alone. There's no one there for him to take his anger out on. My car rolls out of view, and the moment I'm past the house, I turn on my lights and pick up speed. My past is in the past. Let's keep it that way. Time to go to my parents' place. I punch at the steering wheel, the memory of his inebriated night stabbing at my brain. That's not what I wanted out of a marriage. That's not what I imagined it would be like with him. I would never have guessed I'd be on the run from my husband. Where did it all go wrong? Or was it doomed from the beginning? A well of emotion erupts with the flood that rises from my heart, and I succumb to fierce sobs. After a few minutes of driving through my blinding tears, I punish myself for my constant need to take flight. What has my life come to? I can't handle this, God, I groan through my tears. I thought by now I would be free from that monster. I prayed you would give me a hope and a future. This is not the future I want. No money, nowhere to stay, no safety. Are you even listening? I approach a red light and drop my face into my hands as I come to a stop. My veins pulse with hot blood while my heart thumps heavily in my chest. The light turns green, and I take a deep breath. My heart drops, as if God has reached down from heaven and tugged on it himself. Please, God, show me you're trustworthy. All right, so that's a little bit from Take Flight, and I am selling the novel just over here. The novel is for $24.99 tonight, and then also my first novel is for sale. And that's Love's True Colors. It will be on sale tonight for $19.99. So if you're interested, I have cash and card venue options for purchase. Also, there are more drinks, and if you're keen, please stick around. There will be a cake coming out to celebrate this final release of Take Flight. So thank you all again for joining me, and please do go head up and get some more drinks and something to eat.